Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and enjoy this type of content, I do hope you'll subscribe. So, I have been waiting. It's a little later in the evening. I was waiting for hubby to finish working on the car. He's got his mechanic hat on today, and the car is right outside his window. So I was trying to wait till he was done, but apparently that job is taking a little longer than he expected. So we're just going to jump in, and hopefully there's not a whole lot of noise going on. Market recap. That's what we're doing today. Market recap. Okay, so the museum was my last market, and I had opted to do the museum. I'm trying to help them build up their vendors. You know, they have the audience, they just don't have the vendors. I don't know why. And I'm thinking it's because they don't charge you right from the get-go. You know, they're like letting people say, oh, I want to join up for that, and they put them down and they never take any money until like a week beforehand. And it's like, no, I think maybe you should start charging immediately. And people are more inclined to show up. That way they don't lose their money. At least that's the way I am. If I have already paid for it, you are pretty sure I'm going to be there. But anyway, I get there. We are the first ones there. Apparently, we are always the first ones there. So we sat there for almost 30 minutes waiting for somebody to come and open the gates. And I was starting to get a little concerned. I was like, you know, are they coming? What's going on? Well, she shows up. Apparently, there was huge traffic issue in Santone, and so she had some issues getting there. But anyway, so we pick out our spot. I wanted to kind of be a little under the tree, but I wanted to be closer to the parking spaces. So I had noticed that the last time I went and did it, I was further away. It was a little slower. The time before that, I was over by the parking spaces, and I did okay. So I figured we'll go back to the parking lot spaces, you know. And got all set up, and then I realized very quickly that was a mistake, because the sun was right there beaming down on where I would normally sit, and I just had no reprieve from the sun at all day long. So if I go back to that one, I will have to rethink that. But the reason why I say if I go back to that one is because it seems to be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And when I say small, Saturday's event, 2 vendors, and I was one of them. 2 vendors. So they just, for some reason, are not getting enough attention. They're not getting enough commitment. So I mean, this was their first year of trying it, but still, it's not taking off at all. It's actually dying. But they had the traffic. There was lots and lots and lots of people. I did pretty well considering there were only 2 vendors. So let's go ahead and get into how market went. The very first thing that sold was a possum for $15, a crab for $15, and a possum for $15. One pink strawberry for $5, 2 red strawberries for $5 each, 1 large snake for $20, 1 red strawberry for $5, 1 resin bag, the little bag of like 6 little tiny resin animals inside of it. I decided to sell those at $1. I sold a resin bag for $1. A sea turtle for $15. A scrubby set for $10. 2 more resin bags for $2, $1 a piece. A yellow duck for $10. An octopus for $12. A shark for $15. 1 pink strawberry for $5. 1 cat toy for $10. 1 possum for $15. 1 bear for $20. 1 peas in a pod for $10. 1 Bronto for $25. 1 wiener dog for $20. And 1 alien for $10. Okay, so there was quite a bit of a break, like from 11:15 to 1 o'clock, nothing. Not a single sale. It was just I don't know, lunch hour, I guess, which is nothing. So, that was interesting. I noticed they did have like a pumpkin painting thing, so maybe all the kids were in like a little class for pumpkin painting. I don't know. But anyway, I did stay till 4, but 3 o'clock was my last sale. Let's get down to the numbers. Let's see if I can pull it up. I've been adding a whole bunch of new patterns to my thing. Here it is. Because, well, I've been buying patterns. I haven't bought patterns in a while, and all of a sudden now I'm buying patterns. Market recap. Alright. So the museum costed me $25. And I had an estimate of $100. Hoping for about $150. My total amount of sales was $265. And that was 24 items. I don't remember how many transactions, but that was 24 items. $185 of that was square, and $80 was cash. And I paid hubby $36. So anyway, I ended up with a $204 profit. My best sellers were strawberries and possums. I sold 5 strawberries and 4 possums. And I did not spend any money. And it was pretty hot. That sun, there were no clouds. There was no wind. There was just sun. I did get up an hour and a half early this morning. I went and got my mammo done. And we'll just wait and see. I'm pretty sure everything is still just fine. I just always worry. In the back of my mind, I'm always worried because, you know, my friend who died, she just 1 year was fine. Next year, she was not. And so, you just never know, and it's always better to check and make sure. That's my opinion. Doesn't have to be yours. All right. So what else is there to talk about? So one story I definitely wanted to talk about was the brontosaurus. This man and his wife, and I'm guessing her older child and middle child, and she is currently pregnant with twins. So she was over the moon about that peas in a pod for her twins, you know. And the little boy wanted the brontosaurus, you know, couldn't change his mind, not even a little bit. And then the girl, she couldn't make up her mind. She was like, I tell you, she was about 13, 14, and she just threw a fit, and she was throwing things down. I'm like, hey. And she turned around and looked at me like, what are you going to do, you know? My little brain is telling me, yeah, really, what are you going to do? But it stopped her in her tracks, and she walked away, you know. But her stepdad, you know, he's new to the picture, and he decided he would go ahead and buy her a bear because she had picked it up a couple of times. But I tell you what, man, my dad would have said, that's it, let's go, ain't nobody getting nothing. You know, you throw a fit and you are causing everybody to lose out. My dad was all about that group punishment, you know. But anyway, it just blew my mind that she just, I don't know, man. It's like, what is going on with these kids nowadays? We wouldn't have dared. But maybe, I don't know. Kids nowadays don't get punished like we used to. It's a good thing, but it's sometimes like, whew, I don't know. Anyway, the little boy, his Bronto, he's throwing it up in the air. I mean, he literally has zero respect for what he just absolutely wanted. He wanted it, and he got it, and then he just had zero respect for it, 100%. Me, I would rather you purchase the item and leave, and I never know what happens to these items, because knowing what happened to this item hurt me. I was like, what in the world? Anyway, he was in the parking lot. He's throwing it up in the air, and he's catching it. occasionally. So this this baby blue colored brontosaurus is being thrown to the ground on asphalt. And then one time it hits the ground eye first, and the eye broke. I mean, the top portion broke smooth off from the post that was still inside the plushie. They bring it over to me, and they said, "Do you got any super glue?" And I said, "I sure don't." And I looked at that little boy. I was like, "You sure was being awful rough with him." And he kind of shied away, and I told him, I said, "No, I do not have any super glue." And he goes, "That's all right. We can just super glue it when we get home, you know." But his wife turns to me and she goes, "You don't have any super glue?" Like, I'm thinking to myself, why would I ever have super glue with me ever? You know, like, apparently there is a need to carry super glue. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, it was an experience I hope I never have again. That was crazy. All right. So I do have a big list. I am pushing myself to get as much as I can done, even though it's been a very busy morning. But while hubby was driving, I got 4 heads done. And since we've been home, I've gotten 2 heads done. And the legs for 4. And I still got 2. Plus I need to do the ears. And so we'll be doing possums well into the evening. Well into the evening. I might be staying up a little late. I did go and fill out my chart on the wheel. Is just filling out, you know, what all needs to be done. And I started doing the wheel, telling me what to do. And then I was like, you know, I don't know if I should just keep on going that way, or if I should really tackle some of these items I know for a fact I need, like strawberries. Like, I can do my little wheel. Please land on strawberries. Please land on strawberries. No. So I guess I need to just do that for a couple of days and then tackle what didn't get done. Because it gave me some really big items so far. And I really need to tackle some of those smaller items. But I did a big old long list, and it is 55 items long. No way, no way. That's at least 2 weeks worth of work right there. So I've got a market this weekend. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pretty good market. Fingers crossed. It's been very well advertised, and it's usually a pretty good market. And then after that, I have a brand new market that is pretty, I'm going to say small. I've never done it before. It's right here local. So I've got quite a few small markets lined up before Christmas time, before the end of November. That's when things start heating up, and I better have some pretty good inventory built up by then. So I don't mind if the next few markets, I would say the next, I can talk. I promise I can talk. No, I can't. Okay. After this market this Saturday, I don't mind if the next 4 markets are small because I need to build up the inventory for the end of November and the beginning of December. And I am very much already, it's only October and I'm already looking forward to my month off in July, in January. My brain is gone, boy, I'm telling you. All right. I think I have fumbled my words enough today. I will talk at y'all later. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.